Okay, good morning. This is the March 31st Business Lunch and Talk. So we'll get started now. It's our monthly last Thursday of the month get together of community members talking about different things in their organization. We have some exciting things to hear today. We're going to learn about a couple of new programs, one at the East Otero School District and then one up at Otero College. We're going to hear about some events coming up in Lahanna and then just about different organizations in the community. So we want to first of all thank CCOM, who sponsors our internet here at the Lahanna Chamber of Commerce, and we thank them. They keep the Lahanna Chamber of Commerce connected. So that's kind of our tagline, and we thank CCOM for their help with that. So I welcome everybody. We'll have some others coming on as we move through the program. So I'm going to let Greg Kolomitz, the president of the Lahanna Chamber of Commerce, take over and kind of fill us in on what's going on with the chamber and anything coming up. So Greg, do you want to go ahead and get started?
Sure. Thanks, Julie. And thanks, Julie, for taking the lead on this and keeping us organized and making these events happen every month. Hear a lot of positive feedback about them from the community. So just hit a couple of things that are going on at the chamber and maybe a couple of upcoming events for everybody to put a note on their calendar about. First, as it pertains to upcoming events, we're very excited to announce that we have booked our band for Early Settlers Day, which is going to be on September the 10th, Saturday, September the 10th. And we have booked and signed a contract with Martini Shot. So we know from past experiences that they're a popular group, bring a large crowd, and for a couple of years, we've had some conflicts in terms of booking conflicts. So we got on it early this year. We've got them booked. We got them signed. So we're looking forward to starting to promote that and get that going for Early Settlers Day. Speaking of Early Settlers Day, we are beginning to organize internally at the chamber, and we will have our first, we will have our first committee meeting where we will recruit community members that are interested in helping us organize Early Settlers Day. We don't have that date pinned down yet, but it'll be in mid to late April. So Timmery Foster, who is on, who, if you don't know, is our chamber coordinator and doing a fabulous job. She'll put that on Facebook and communicate that through our insider newsletter. On Tuesday, April the 12th, we're going to have our second member community meeting. And we had our first one in late February, I think, sometime, or maybe, February. We announced that we were going to do two of these. We announced that at the banquet in January, and our goal for these meetings are just to listen, do way more listening than talking, asking for feedback from not only our members, but from everybody in the Lahanna community about what the chamber can do better, what you'd like to see the chamber do more of, less of, just how we can be a better asset to the community. So our second one of those will be on Tuesday, April the 5th, 5:30 at the chamber office. And again, look for more of that in the Community Insider.
Greg, April 5th or April 12th? It's the 12th, isn't it?
It's the 12th. Did I say
okay,
5th?
You said 5th.
I apologize. You're right. It's the 12th. Yeah. Tuesday, April the 12th at 5:30 p.m. at the chamber. So we'll send out some reminders on that. Also, we conducted online and through the Insider a member community survey. We got some responses back from that. We'd like to get some more responses, and so we're going to resend that out through our Facebook page. So feel free to not only respond to that, but also forward it to and share with your network on Facebook. This is probably not a very big deal to the members or the community, but for a little internal chamber thing, very excited to announce that we actually have physically in hand in the office our 2022 chamber member plaques that we will begin to distribute next week to our members. We feel very proud of ourselves that we're way ahead of the game. Usually we're doing this in September or October for a variety of reasons, but we got them done, they're in hand. And so look for those to start to show up at your businesses. The chamber office will be closed next Friday, April the 8th. We're normally open on Fridays, but next Friday will be closed. Again, we'll be sending out a reminder to people that will be closed next Friday. If you come to the chamber or drive by the chamber, you will notice that a bike rack has been installed in front of the chamber. And that is going to be part of the city's bike share program. And I don't know all the details about that or how it's going to be implemented, but once that is up and running, the chamber is going to be participating in that, and we've got the first step of that already in place with the bike rack. The last thing I would just mention, there's a lot of opportunities and things coming up over the summer and for kids, but the soonest something is going to happen will be the auditions for the children's theater musical. They're going to start on April the 7th, and if you're interested or know people that are interested, you can go to the Children's Theater Facebook page, and we at the chamber will send out a link to that as well. So, you know, spring is coming. We're looking forward to some spring activities around the community, and if you've got things that your organization would like for us to share, we are more than happy and willing to do that. So just can reach Timmery at the chamber office through Facebook, internet, or even old-fashioned phone. She's known to answer a phone every once in a while. So with that, I'll just remind everybody again, we will be closed next Friday. We've got a member community meeting on Tuesday, April the 12th at 5:30. We would love to see you. And if anybody's got any questions or comments about the chamber, I'm happy to try to answer them. If not, Julie, I kick it back to you if no one has any questions. I don't know, maybe somebody.
Anybody have anything they want to ask Greg? I don't think so, Greg. So thank you very much.
Just in closing, I just would say thank you for everybody that's participating on these. It's as I said, it's a real community asset, and we get a lot of positive feedback. So thank you for your participation.
Thanks, Greg. So now I want to introduce Dawn Block, who's the coordinator at the City of Lahanna for Human Services, Senior Center, Transit, and Grants. She wears lots of different hats. So Dawn, do you want to come on and share with us what you have today?
Sure, I'd be happy to. So it's human resources is what I do for the City of Lahanna. That's
what did I say?
You said human services, but that's okay.
Okay.
Sometimes we feel like that. So in previous times that used to be called personnel. Now we call it HR. So that's what that is. But today I want to talk about our transit system. I'd be curious to know how many of you knew that we had a general public transportation system.
I did.
I'm not surprised.
No, anybody can use it, right? You don't even have to be a senior center. Or senior.
It is not a senior specific. It is a general public transportation. In fact, our largest group of users is school-age children.
Really?
Yes. When the school system went to centralized bus pickups, there were some parents that didn't feel comfortable leaving their kids on a corner somewhere. So they contacted us and says, as a general transportation provider, could you pick up our kids? So we are allowed to do that as long as we don't exclude rides to anyone else during that time. And quite honestly, our passengers have learned that from this time to this time, we have school-age kids on the bus and they just don't want to be there. So we've not ever run into that. So it is.
So do the buses give the kids rides home from school in the afternoon?
We do have a group that we take in the morning also. We pick them up at their house and take them to school and drop them off. One of the good things about our transportation system as opposed to something else is we don't let the kids off the bus until there's someone there to get the kids. We don't feel comfortable turning a kindergartner loose and say, yeah, go ahead, go. We don't, no. So there's always somebody there either at home or at school to pick up the kids.
Good, very good. That is a new, I've already learned something new today.
Yay, it's a good day if you learn something, right? So we are funded by the city of Lahanna, but we are also funded through a FTA, which is the Federal Transit Administration grant passed through Colorado Department of Transportation. I'm going to throw a number out there. 5311 is our operating and admin money. That is on our administrative side. It is an 80-20 match with the grant paying 80% of our administrative costs and the city paying 20%. On our operating side, that is a 50-50 match. Now, when COVID happened back in 2020, transit systems got a lot of money. And the two grants that I'm working on right now are no match. So the two grants are paying 100% of admin and operating costs for our transit system right now. That ends in June of 2023. Our operating budget is usually around $230,000 a year. That includes all of our costs. That's operator costs, that's fuel costs, that's all of our cost. So the cost to ride the bus is $1. It is what we call a curb to curb service. So we will pick you up at a curb and we will drop you off at a curb. We do not provide door to door nor through door. That means that we will not take you up to your door, nor will we walk through the door. Our insurance will not allow us to do either one of those things. But we will pick you up at your curb and take you to the grocery store for $1 and come back and get you and take you back home for another $1. The biggest place that we take people are to medical sites. We have regular riders, but then we have those that use our system in the event. We had a lady who had a knee replaced and she couldn't drive, but she had to get to therapy. And so for 3 months, she used our service twice a week. And now she doesn't use it anymore because she can drive. So we welcome that. We're there because we realize a lot of people don't have family close enough that can do things like that. And a lot of times you don't feel like imposing on your friends or neighbors to take you somewhere. So that's what our bus is for, is to do those types of things.
Now, are you able to take people that may be in a wheelchair?
Yes, both of our buses are equipped with wheelchair lifts and tie downs. So we can safely get you on, tie you down, transport you, and then take you off.
Okay, that's good.
We go to Walmart once a week. Friday mornings is our Walmart day, because if not, we would be at Walmart every 45 minutes. So just to make it more feasible, I guess, we do go to Walmart on Friday mornings, and we'll pick you up at 8:30, take you out there, leave you there till about 10:30, and then we'll pick you up and take you home for $1.
So do you have specific times when you pick up in specific places in town or not?
No, we are a curb to curb. So that means if you have an appointment and you call us 24 hours in advance, we will schedule that ride for you to make sure that you make that appointment. Now, if you're going to the grocery store, we sort of have a schedule every 45 minutes. We start at 8:45 and run till 3:15. About every 45 minutes. We're down an hour for lunch between 11:30 and 12:30. And so we try to schedule you in that time that works. Okay.
And do people just call the senior center, or?
We actually have two lines here. The 384-5486 is the senior center line, and 384-5453 is our transit line, but they both ring in on the same telephone. So if they pick up the phone and say Lahanna Senior Center, it just means somebody didn't look at the number when it came in. So.
Very good. Do others have questions for Dawn about the transit system in Lahanna? Can you maybe just highlight a little bit about the senior center too, Dawn?
Okay. So what the senior center is known for recently, pre-COVID, was our trips. I haven't got anything scheduled yet this year. I stepped in a hole back in November and I broke my leg. And I wasn't sure if I was going to have surgery. So I was kind of waiting on planning any trips. But we're working right now on a Niagara Falls trip that will take us up into Toronto for the day. There's quite a few logistics with crossing that international line that I'm having to figure out how to deal with, like COVID tests. Anybody coming into Canada has to have a negative COVID test within 72 hours. I'm not sure how to do that with 50 people. So there's some logistic things that I'm working on. But we are going to plan something for late summer, early fall. In April, the last Friday in April is our senior prom. Those of you that know anything about the senior center know that for many years, 12 to be exact, we've been hosting a local school, started with Shira, but we've also had Lahanna host their prom here. And so the day before the prom, we have a senior prom. And so this year it's going to be on the 29th of April, and that is a free event. Anybody can come. We've got some really good music. Mr. Tim, I don't know anybody, he's actually out of Denver, but he is what he calls himself a crooner, C-R-O-O-N-E-R, and he is wonderful. So he's going to come to our prom, and we have a Kentucky Derby theme this year. So we will be having a hat contest for the ladies. We will be having a bow tie contest for the gentlemen, and we will also award a best dressed couple. So that's what we've got coming up in the near future.
Very good.
Dr. Alvarez, you cannot compete in that. That's no fair.
Who can't?
Dr. Alvarez. He can't show up for that contest.
Yeah, because he has lots of bow ties.
Exactly.
That's okay. We would welcome him. He is more than welcome to come.
Dawn, this is Cynthia with CASA. Do you have any written information on the local transit service? I think there's some people that we work with that could probably use your service.
Yes, we have a brochure that outlines like a 2-page trifold brochure. I can email it to you. I can get it to you. You can stop by and pick it up. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I might stop by and pick it up.
Okay, perfect. That's
Okay.
great.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I have a question too. This is Dee. So how far out of the city limits will you, or do you go out of the city limits at all?
We do. We provide service to North Lahanna and the industrial park, and we go as far south as Prairie View, the housing development out there, and we go as far west as Walmart.
Okay.
We have had occasion to go east, but we don't get that request very often.
Okay, so now we know where you go and what's coming up at the senior center. So are there any other questions? Well, thank you very much, Dawn.
Thank
I
you.
enjoyed hearing about, didn't know you called the school kids, so that's great. So thank you.
Thank you.
So next on the agenda, we're going to hear from Otero College and Dr. Alvarez, and we have an exciting guest coming with Dr. Alvarez, Dr. James Lind, who is the lead music faculty and with the Department of Arts and Humanities, is going to tell us about the new music program at the college. So I'm going to let Dr. Alvarez start off, and then we'll hear from Dr. Lind. So Dr. Alvarez.
Wonderful. Can you hear me okay?
I can, yes.
Wonderful. Well, happy Bow Tie Thursday from Otero College. I normally, again, wear bow ties on Thursdays and really enjoy doing it, so I may have to participate in your event. First of all, I'd like to thank the community for your participation in our strategic planning initiatives. We've had open forums with community members on campus, off campus. So within the next few weeks, we'll have a draft plan and we'll share it with our advisory council, and then we'll share it with the community broadly. But we've had some really wonderful participation from the community. Greg was one. Thank you, Greg, for participating, and we listened. Our plan, I think, is going to be really exciting for us. I want us to be the best rural community college in Colorado, and I want you to be proud of us, and I hope you are. So a few things to talk about that will be coming in the near future is a construction program. You know, we've heard loud and clear that something that we need to try to work on. And so I will invite one of our faculty members, hopefully maybe at the next BLT, to give you some more specificity about that. But we've heard loud and clear, and we're going to try to make that happen. We're also going to try to do programs for some of our adult learners, because I think that's another population that we've probably not served as well as we could. And further, my hope is that we've had a lot of conversations about the future of work and what it means to be career ready. So when our students leave our campus, I really want to make sure that they're prepared either to go to work or to go to a 4-year school. And so we've had a lot of conversations about them. We have, after a long hiatus, we have our Rattler Run Back. That is on Saturday, April 9th, and we have over 100 people signed up for that. So really excited about that. The registration is closed, but you know what? I think if you go on, if you want to still participate, we'd let you join us. So feel free to do that. It's going to be a really wonderful event. Right now, we have the 66th Annual Arts Festival going on, and the ceremony is tonight at 7 o'clock if you get a chance. And I'm again, as an outsider coming into this community, I'm not sure the community fully understands the type of talent we have in this community. I mean, when you look at the art and the performing arts from some of our young people, it's amazing, guys. It is truly amazing. So if you get a chance, come in and look at some of the artwork and some of the other literary works that we have in our gyms. You should be proud of it. Some really talented people, some talented faculty within our community, talented high school teachers that are really training some of these students.
And there's everything, because I was over there judging the other day. There's everything from jewelry to pottery to fabric art. It's amazing.
Yes, it is, truly. Our summer and fall registration is open, so any of you that want to take a class, come join us. We will have an electric charging station on campus behind the gym here, hopefully within the next few months. So anybody that brings their electric vehicle, students or otherwise, you'll be able to charge it on our campus. And that's thanks to our Dr. Alan Nolan, one of our science faculty members who wrote a grant. So really excited for that. We have a number of our sports teams that are participating now. We have baseball and softball, and they're both playing this weekend. So come out and watch them play if you get a chance. And golf, in fact, is playing today and tomorrow at our Lahanna golf course. So if you get a chance, stop out and see them. Graduation's coming up very shortly. In fact, we are I think the first one within the 13 campuses to graduate. We graduate April 30th at 10 a.m. With that said, if there isn't any other questions, I'm delighted to introduce our very own James
I have one
Lynn.
question. I have one question, please. Can you give us information about the Adult Learners Program, or what will be new?
Yeah, Darlene, we're not done quite with our strategic plan. We hope to have that done internally by April 15th. And then once we put that together, then we'll share it more broadly. But we don't have a lot of specifics yet, Darlene. I wish I could, but nothing yet.
I had the
Okay.
same question. Thanks, Darlene.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Wonderful. So let me introduce your very own Dr. James Lynn, lead faculty member at Otero College. And I'm a firm believer in the value that performing arts brings to our communities and the quality of life. And although we spend a lot of time talking about science and math and technology, in my mind, those type of opportunities allow us to enjoy what Dr. Lynn does in the arts and humanities. So really excited to announce him, and he's been here a while, but I have to tell you that you're not going to find a more talented, more generous, more kind music faculty member in the country. So I'm grateful that he's part of our community of learners. So with that said, Dr. Lynn.
Wow, thank you so much for that, Dr. Alvarez. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. Wow, I'm kind of blown away by that introduction. I just want to echo, kind of some similar things that have already been said. I came from outside the community. I grew up in Texas. I did all of my schooling in Texas, and then my wife got a job here in Lahanna, and I moved here really not knowing what I would be doing, honestly. And kind of immersing myself in the community, I was struck by the support, the talent of people in the arts. And I was really, I appreciated discovering this about our community, and got connected to the college as an adjunct. And then, as Dr. Alvarez knows, I started conversations about adding music to the curriculum as a degree program offering. And thanks to the support of the administration and Dr. Alvarez, we're here. And we get to offer a degree in music. And it's so advantageous because I think Colorado has it right in the sense that students can get their first 2 years of study at Otero and transfer to a public university as a junior, meaning that the credits that they study, the credits they earn here at Otero, they stay with them. And that is key. That is so advantageous. And to have that opportunity here at Otero is great. It's special. It's special for me because I always wanted to try to find a place that was committed to students, focused on students. And that's one thing I love about Otero. And what I try to recreate in on the music side of the performing arts is having that interaction, having that engagement where students can interact individually with faculty mentors. Something I loved about my college experience, and I love to have an opportunity to give that back. So when we think about the arts, when we think about performing arts, you know, that's one of the things I love about music is our curriculum that we offer here at Otero provides experiences inside and outside of the classroom. And all of that's done in an immersive and collaborative environment. What that means is the students will get to study all sorts of ideas about music, the theory, the history of music, and have an opportunity, an outlet for them to express ideas that they learn through performance opportunities. And you know, I think that's the sense of collaboration is a general mark of the education that students experience here at Otero, generally speaking. You know, all the classes that students take at Otero, you will get that kind of attention. The instructors know their names, and that's probably things you guys already know. But, you know, just how we can connect to the community and how the arts can be a window into that connection. And, you know, one last thing I'd like to share, Dr. Alvarez hinted at this is, you know, how can we make students career ready? In my experience, music is a huge part in how we can create career ready individuals. And, you know, just because we study music, it does not necessarily lock you into a career in music. It does not mean you're going to be a performer. You're not going to be a music teacher. You're not going to be, you know, a studio owner, you know, own your own music studio. But it's the skills that I think we develop when we study music that is the key. And to me, they're highly marketable skills. You know, a few of the skills that we develop, I think, in music study, analytical skills. You know, we'll sit down and study a score from a composer like Mozart, and to develop how different ideas work together. We're developing analytical skills, and so that helps students get ready to take on the challenges of tomorrow. You know, where students can identify a problem and then come up with a solution. Well, here's how I analyzed a problem in a Mozart sonata, for example, and here's how Mozart fixed it, right? Or here's how Mozart moved through one idea to the next. And we can understand and we can identify problems and solutions just through analytical skills, creative problem solving skills. One of my favorite, decision making skills, right? I'm sure we can all agree that employers are looking for employees who can make decisions. Let's talk about it. Now let's make a decision. Let's develop a plan. And I think we do that in music without really fully recognizing it.
Right.
We do that in the performances. In our performances, we, account for different stylistic ideas that we can approach a song and then make a decision. I'm going to go with this because this is going to best reflect the emotion that the song is about and how we can convey that. In music, we're developing decision-making skills, and I think that's highly marketable among employers, what employers are looking for in candidates. And it's just so exciting to be a part of Otero right now because of all these new programs that we're developing. And I'm excited to say music is one of them.
And we're
how
excited
we can,
about it.
yeah,
So,
just how we can connect to the community and,
Yeah.
perform at community events, having a rich bed of people to check out and say, we need a performance for this, this, and that. And we will soon be a place where you can tap into that resource.
All right. Well, thank you, Dr. Lind. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
And we will be hearing from you more at a
Yeah.
later date. So thank you.
Thank you so much for your time, and pleasure to talk today.
Thank you. And now we're going to hear about another creative program that's being developed at East Otero School District. And we have Ryan Siefkas, who is a career and technical education instructor at Lahanna Junior Senior High School. So Ryan, do you want to talk about your new programming?
Yeah, absolutely. So this year we started up the ag program here at Lahanna. For those of you who have been in the community for a long time, you know that there used to be an ag program here and then it closed. It's been away for a while, but we finally got that up and running this year. So an ag program is part of career and technical education. We're probably familiar with quite a few of the other clusters. We call them cluster areas. And so we already have business here at the school. There used to be family and consumer science or home ec here at the school. And then there's several other areas that are in career and technical education. But what we got started this year again was the ag program, agriculture, forestry, natural resources. And the ag program, we teach about 7 different pathways. And most people, when they think of ag, you think of farming or ranching. And while that is production agriculture, and that is very important, the food production that we have for this nation, there are over 300 careers that students can go into in agriculture. And while about 1.5% of our nation's population are directly involved in production agriculture, 20% of our nation's population are actually involved in agriculture when we broaden it out to those 7 different pathways. And those 7 different pathways we're talking about are power, structure, technical systems would be the first one, which we used to consider to be ag mechanics. So that's going to be our welding, our engines, hydraulics, electricity, plumbing. Those all fit under that umbrella right there. And we are targeting the program here at Lahanna High School to have a focus in power, structure, technical systems. But I'm also hoping to continue to broaden it to bring in those students in the other 6 pathways. Those are ag business, plant systems, animal systems, food systems, and then also natural resources and environmental science. And so there's so many careers that kids can go into. And one of the exciting things that we do in our program, and that there's been a big push for in career and technical education, is to get these students career ready. Professional workplace readiness skills. And so we have something that we call, so we have the 3 circles of agricultural education. So we have FFA, which is the student organization where students go and compete in different activities. And it's also the leadership component because we so desperately need leadership in rural America.
Now, do you have an FFA chapter at Lahanna now, Ryan?
We do, yes. That is a requirement of having an ag program, is that we have an FFA chapter. And any student who is in the ag program is required to have the opportunity to be an FFA. And there are things that we do in the classroom that are FFA based because of that.
Okay.
We believe that the 3 circles are all integral, that you can't have one without the other. And so we have the students at least be exposed to that part of it so they can gain those leadership skills. A lot of people think of the FFA and they think of the blue jacket and they think of
Blue
the judging
corduroy jacket.
competitions. Yeah, that's right, the blue corduroy jacket, invented back in 1932. That, you know, that's kind of the most symbolic part of our organization. But we as an organization have evolved with the times to help students be exposed to those different 300 careers. So the first circle, we have FFA right there. We also have classroom / shop / laboratory instruction. So that is supposed to be education where we are trying to teach students skills that they can use in the industry in the classroom. And we also teach the science behind it because, as our last speaker talked about, it's more than just being able to do the skill. There's so much more thought process that goes into it. So how do we teach the background so students know when to apply those things? So that's what we have in the classroom. And then the last circle is the one that I really want to talk to you about, which is what we call SAE, Supervised Agricultural Experience. And Supervised Agricultural Experience, I believe, is the most powerful part of our program. Maybe I'm a little bit biased. And that is where students do jobs or have projects to help gain skills towards their future careers. And when we think about that, we have 2 different levels of SAEs. So we have foundational SAEs. Every single student is supposed to have a foundational SAE, which is them keeping track of the time and efforts that they're putting in searching for their future career. And so we take that very seriously, that every student is doing that. And the state's expectation is that we get 100% of our students into SAE programs. Currently, our program's sitting at 91% of our students that we have going through that, which beats the state average of around 50% pretty handily. So that's the first step, is that foundational, and making sure that whatever experiences we come up with are helping develop skills towards that student's future career that they're interested in. The second type we talk about is immersion. And immersion is where students are actually in the field doing those things. So that can be working, a paid placement would be working at one of your businesses so they can gain those skills in kind of an internship type fashion. Also, we have unpaid placements where students do job shadowing or just helping out to learn certain skills. So we have those 2 parts. Probably one of the parts that I know Julie's going to be most excited is entrepreneurship.
Yes.
So that is where students own their own business. Now, typically when you guys think of FFA chapters, you probably think of students who are showing at the county fair. Well, in a lot of ways, that is entrepreneurship, because the student owns that animal and is going through that experience, trying to do the things that it will take for them to be able to make a profit with that. And so we have entrepreneurship that way. We also can have students who start their own businesses, and we have grants and things like that available from the state to help them get started in a lot of those arenas. I have one student who applied for a breeding grant so that she can receive enough money to purchase a breeding heifer so she could be starting her own herd. I haven't heard back whether she got the grant yet or not, which I really hope they tell us soon, because breeding season's right around the corner. Right. So I know that I talked really fast about all that stuff. I told Julie, usually when I talk with parents, I spend about an hour explaining the whole program, and I was kind of limited here. One thing I do want to share with everybody is that because we are doing those things in the classroom, our big fundraiser for our FFA chapter is going to be our project auction that's going to be on May 6th, starting at 5:30, right down here at the Ag Shop. And what we're going to do is we're going to be selling off students' projects. One of the things I absolutely love about the project auction idea is that you all will get to come over to our house, basically, see what the students have been working on this year, and bid on those projects. And because it's students' projects that we are selling, when I sit down and talk with students about what it is they're going to build for the year, they actually get to think about what it is that somebody in the community would like to purchase. And the FFA chapter fronts the funds for that. So we don't have socioeconomic disadvantages, making it so a kid can't make a project that they would be capable of. But I need your help showing up, purchasing those projects so that we can make sure that we get that money going through so we can have that happen. And it's not just agricultural projects that students are making. We have quite a few things you can put on your back patio that will be there. So we're excited about doing that this year, and that's what we have going on. I know that that's a shameless advertising pitch right there, but I had to sneak it in there.
Well, Ryan, if you would get that information about that event to the chamber, we'll put it on our newsletter.
That would be perfect. I will get that over to you, and thank you so much for hosting. I know that I talked real fast.
No, that's okay. Does anybody have any questions for Ryan about the new program at the Lahanna High School?
Yes, I do. Ryan, a couple of years ago, you had an Ag Day open to the public, and I was very impressed with that. I had no idea that you had such a wonderful program, and I'm wondering if you're going to have another Ag Day, and when is it?
So are you speaking about the Ag Day that they had over at OJC, or which Ag Day specifically are you talking about here?
Yes, at OJC, in the classrooms.
So
you'd go from classroom to classroom, and you would learn something different.
So our program's actually separate from the program that they have going on over there. We're more focused towards high school students. But what we are planning on doing is some education in the way of, we're planning on working with the primary school to have a petting zoo over there this year, so that students can be sharing that information. And I look forward to other opportunities we can have with the public in the future. So thank you for your question there.
Sure, thank you.
Thanks, Betty. Thank you very much, Ryan. We appreciated hearing about it. So is there any other quick questions for Ryan? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So now we have Kimberly Gallegos, who's the Programming and Outreach Coordinator for Woodwork Memorial Library. Kimberly?
Thank you, Julie. Can you hear me okay?
I can, yes.
Okay, all right. So I've got quite a bit of information. I'll send out an email that has our April calendar. There's a lot of stuff on there. We kind of call our range of programming school year programming. So we start in September and we end at the end of April, so that we can use May to get those final strings together for the summer reading program. So April is the last month of library programming. So that's the ones that I've been talking about: Story Time, Friday Fillers, our teen activities group, Lego Club. Lego Club is the exception. It will go on through the summer. So make sure you take a look at the calendar. I'm also very excited. It's been a long time, but we are starting back our partnership with Fox Theater. We had that partnership going for several years where we used Fox Theater as one of our Friday Fillers events. And so what that meant was that people in our community could watch a movie for free. And, you know, it's family based, but we also had a lot of teachers even that would show up and come as their teacher group and take advantage of the time. And so Vance Johnson has partnered up with us again, and we will be showing the Lorax and the movie Hoot for the month of April. That will be on April 22nd. At 1 o'clock. So you just show up, you get in for free, and then concessions are available for purchase. Moving forward into May, we are doing the 4th annual 6-word story contest. Maybe some of you have heard about this. Dr. Patrick Smith had seen it done at a library where he used to live. And so now we're on our 4th year. Some of you have even judged, I see in our attendance today. And so there'll be cash prizes for 3 age categories. Our sponsor this year is the Woodruff Memorial Library Friends Group. We also will have some additional sponsorship from Valleywide and also Dr. Patrick Smith. So we thank all of them for getting this fun. All it has to be is 6 words. So it sounds simple, but it's pretty challenging. Other dates coming up are the summer reading program. And so that will start June 1st and will end on July 23rd. Something that we added into our program is that we are now including adults. They don't get prizes. Today is actually the last day of the winter adult reading program. So there is a time during the year where they get rewarded for reading. The summer, we do want everybody to be involved, but the focus is on the kids. This summer reading program is technically then for babies all the way up through adults of any age. Our events for kids, those age group are going to be like birth through 6th grade. Those events are going to be on Tuesdays at 10 o'clock and Thursdays at 10 o'clock. Last summer we were at the park for most of our stuff so that we could still have some social distancing, but I am happy to say we'll be doing everything back on the patio again. Okay. Teen events will be on Fridays at 1 o'clock. So stay tuned for, I have a goal to get a brochure ready for the public by the first part of May. And so this year's theme is Oceans of Possibilities. I have 2 coworkers that have been working very hard on making some real life sized things here at the library. So we have what we're calling a teenage whale tail. So it's about half the size of a real adult whale tail. They just put up a manta ray that is the exact size of one of the bigger ones that have ever been found. And their biggest project has been a Great Pacific octopus that's arm span is 16 feet. And so make sure you come on down to the library. We're getting that stuff up a little bit at a time. There is one thing that I know I've only got like a minute or so left, but when you come to the library, something new that we have that I've kind of touched on a few times, but I wanted to show you today is that when you come to the library, we've got a little card holder that has these, what we're calling experience passes. And what this is something that it's a little backpack. So when you bring the card up, somebody will go to the back and they'll bring you back a little backpack. And so inside it's got a couple of books. I'm going to use the Pueblo Zoo one. It's got a couple books that go along with whatever the experience is. So you've got the books, and then inside in the front, you've got a pass. So like this one for the Pueblo Zoo, it will get you 2 adults and up to 5 kids into the zoo for free. So there's a little barcode that you have on the card. They scan that when you get to the zoo, and it's a trip to the zoo for free. Some of the other ones that we have are History Colorado. If you didn't know, there are many locations for it. And I won't go read through the list, but just know you've got lots of options there. Admission is good for 5 adults and 5 children. We've got a backpack for the Rosemont Museum, and that gets you 4 guest passes. The Sangre de Cristo Arts and Conference Center, also known to maybe most of you as the Children's Museum in Pueblo, that gets you up to 8 people in for free, as well as a 10% discount on at the gift shop. And then we have the Discovery Center Space Foundation backpack that gets you 2 adults and up to 10 children in for free, and children under the age of 3 are free all the time. And then our last one is the Western Museum of Mining and Industry. That gets up to 5 people in for free with a 10% discount in the gift shop. So yeah, we really highlighted these during spring break. Summer is right around the corner. Please help us spread the word about these, because these are a free resource and we want our community to be well aware of all of those. We also continue to have the state park backpacks. We have 2 of those that are available also. That one has a pass in it for any state park in the state of Colorado.
Oh, thank you, Kimberly. What exciting things at the library. So
You're welcome. Thank you.
visit Woodruff Memorial Library. Thanks, Kimberly. And now we're going to hear from Brooke Leonard, who's the director of the Arkansas Valley Resource Center. So Brooke. Brooke, are you on? I thought I saw her on sooner. Well, we'll go on to Cynthia Sallenberger, who's the program director at the Ark Valley CASA. So Cynthia.
Hi, thank you. For you guys that don't know, Arkansas Valley CASA is a nonprofit organization that trains community volunteers to advocate for children in the foster care system. Those volunteers are sworn in by the court. They get to know the children in their case, and they report directly to the judges on what the children in their cases need and what's in their best interests. We extensively screen, train, and support our volunteers. And in order to do all that, that takes money. So what I'm here to tell you about is our fundraiser that is coming up on Wednesday, April 20th. It is at Otero College Banquet Hall. Check-in begins at 11:30. The program begins promptly at noon and ends at 1. This program is targeted towards people who can come during their lunch hour. It's a very informative program. There will be a former CASA youth that speaks along with her volunteer that was her CASA volunteer at the time. It's a very good way to get a good overview of what CASA does as an organization and how we help the children in our community.
Yeah.
Anyone who would like to attend, they do need to RSVP. You can do that by emailing me at cynthia@arkvalleycasa.org, or you can go to our Facebook page and there is a link there that you can click and register online for that.
So what about volunteers? If someone wants to be a volunteer with CASA, Cynthia?
Yeah, that's really, besides raising funds, this program also really is a good way for someone to know if this would be the volunteer experience for them. We do have volunteers from all walks of life. You do not have to have any special background or training. We provide all of the training. We have retirees, we have stay-at-home moms, we have business owners, we have professionals that work full-time. This is a very flexible experience. So there's no certain background that you have to have. We do all of the training that a volunteer needs.
And how many days, several days of training, or?
We do 40 hours of training, and that is spread out over a month's time. Our next training class is due to start in May. To begin that journey, we have a website, arkvalleycasa.org. And if someone's interested, they can fill out an online application there, and that begins the process.
Oh, okay, wow. Does anybody have any questions for Cynthia about the Ark Valley CASA? I think this is a fabulous program that's kind of not well known.
I will say we have a volunteer on. Chris Casper is one of our volunteers. She's also a board member. And then Ann Boswell is also on here, and she is currently in training to become a volunteer.
So,
and Julie, may I
yes, go ahead.
you? Julie is a table captain, a co-table captain, and she is looking for chamber members to help fill her table, a table of 8. And this luncheon is free for anybody who is coming to the luncheon. And there will be at one point a short interval where there's a pledge because, like Cynthia said, it is a fundraiser. So I just want to promote Julie Worley's table.
Thank you.
I also want to say Roberta's on here, and she's also a table captain.
Yes.
So if we fill my table up, then we'll fill Roberta's up, right?
There you go. And I believe, Timmery, I think you put a link on the chamber page as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. Yeah, so it'll be going out in the Chamber Insider. So if you need to register and haven't met with a table captain outside of Roberta and Julie, you'll be able to sign up on that link.
Great, thank you for that. And like
Yeah.
Chris made a good point, it is free to attend this luncheon. There is no charge to come. We just want people to show up and learn about what it is that CASA does.
Very good. Well, thank you very much, Cynthia. We appreciate having you on. So
Thank you.
Brooke Leonard has said she's on now. She was having a little technical problems. Imagine that in this format. So Brooke, would you share with us now about the Arkansas Valley Resource Center?
Sure. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, good. So for anybody that's not familiar with the Arkansas Valley Resource Center, I want to go over a little bit of what we do. We're a nonprofit agency that provides comprehensive services to victims of crime. We actually cover about 20 different types of crime. For example, elder abuse, human trafficking, sexual abuse, sexual assault, domestic violence, and so forth. We provide crisis intervention, peer counseling, criminal and civil legal advocacy, financial assistance, emergency shelter and safety planning, among many other services. And we cover Bent, Crowley, and Otero counties. All of our funding depends on grants that we write every year and community donations and volunteers. We don't have any funding that is guaranteed from a year-to-year basis. And right now we are in need of volunteers. So if you know of anybody that would be interested, please have them contact us at our main office, which is, the phone number is 384-7764. And then we also have an open law enforcement advocacy position. And so people can either apply through the Colorado workforce or they can email us directly with their resume. And they can also get more information on that on our website, which is arkansasvalleyresourcecenter.org. And a couple things that we have coming up. We have Victims' Rights Week is April 24th through the 30th. So we'll be doing some events during that time, bringing awareness about victims' rights. Victims' rights started back in 1996. And there's a lot of things that come along with that, but the whole idea is to protect victims and their information and their rights. And then a lot of people don't realize we actually have a satellite office in Ordway that we have somebody at every Wednesday. So anyone that is unable to travel to Lahanna, we can meet them in Ordway for services. We actually provide mobile advocacy. So, you know, a lot of people do have transportation issues, and if they're in crisis in a different area, whether that's Bent County or Fowler or wherever, if they need assistance and we can get to them, we will meet them where they're at and provide services there. And then I know this is a long way off, but I'm going to keep reminding people, please save the date. Our annual comedy show fundraiser next year is set for February 11th, 2023. That was really successful this year, and so we look forward to another fun event.
Right. So now what kind of training do your volunteers, what's the amount of time your volunteers training is?
So it depends on what they want to do, but if they do want to provide direct services, then we have to have a minimum of 15 hours for domestic violence and 30 hours for sexual assault to be able to protect privilege for clients. So that they would have to have basically 45 hours worth of training, and we provide all of that training and it's free. So there's no cost, and a lot of it's done online as well. So we can work with people on, if they need to do most of it at home or whatever, we can do that. Now, if somebody wants to volunteer for something that is indirect, so not working with clients directly, then there's not very much training that goes along with that.
Okay. And you work with both female and males, correct? It used to be just females, but it's both now, correct?
Right. Yeah. Starting in 1996, we started working with all genders, all ages. We can work with anybody.
Okay.
Yeah. All inclusive agency.
All right. Does anyone have any questions for Brooke? So thank you very much for sharing.
Yeah. Thank you.
We'll look forward to hearing from you another time. So thank you. So now we have Deanna Hostetler, who's the founding and manager of Clean Valley Recycling. She's got some exciting things to share with us about what's happening out at the Clean Valley Recycling. So Deanna, take over.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Julie. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. So yeah, just an update on what's going on at Clean Valley Recycling. So as many of you know, our old Baler broke last June, and a big baler is really the integral part of any kind of recycle center. It bales our cardboard, our paper, our plastic, our aluminum. So you can't run a recycle center without it. So we did purchase one, and our new baler is installed and working. And our fundraiser is still ongoing for that baler. We've raised about $18,000. So actually, I'm very happy about that and grateful to everyone who's contributed and participated in that. We are going to have an open house to show off our new baler, and that's in conjunction with the Chamber's Business After Hours. So that's going to be June 16 from 5 to 9. And that'll be a free event for everybody. We'll have refreshments, we'll have music, we'll give tours, and we're planning a little talent show too for that evening. So if anybody has a talent to share, please give me a call. It can be anything. It can be funny. It can be Dr. Lind, you might want to bring your trumpet. Give me a call if you're interested in sharing your talent. The number for Clean Valley Recycling is 719-468-0254.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're targeted now, Dr. Lind.
Yeah, a couple other things that are going on with Clean Valley Recycling. We do have a community garden right there at our Swink location, and Stephen Nielsen is in charge of that. And we have several people already signed up for that. There's a $25 annual, well, that takes care of the whole year, and that helps to cover the cost of the water. Clean Valley Recycling will cover the water costs for that.
Oh,
so
wow.
Interested in, Stephen helped with the community garden when it was over there at OJC, so he's pretty experienced in doing that sort of thing.
So what will that involve? Will the garden will be planted and then people can harvest off of it, or?
Well, no, the people participating will have to participate with.
Oh, okay.
They'll be in charge of their own little plot.
Oh, okay. I see. It's a place to have a garden then.
It's a place to have the garden.
Oh,
they'll
okay.
plant and weed and harvest themselves.
Right. Okay.
We'll help with the watering.
Right. That's a cool project.
Yeah. So actually, if Stephen's number is 468-6954, if anybody is interested or know of anybody that wants to help with the garden. Another program I just want to talk about just briefly is we have adopted a section of Highway 50 for cleanup, and it's a mile section between Swink and Lahanna. We also cover other areas. So if you're driving down the highway and you see an area that's full of trash, we have a contract with Colorado, the DOT, Department of Transportation. We have safety vests, we have bags, and we plan a cleanup like every 2 or 3 months. We go out and pick up trash. So if you know any organization that needs community service or individual, give me a call. Our next planned pickup day is April 23rd. And Earth Day is April 22nd. So this would be a great way to celebrate Earth Day. April 23rd. And we're going to start at 8 and probably just spend like 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. picking up trash along the highway.
Now, have you seen recycling increase, Dee, since I don't know, it's been a little over 10 years now that you've been up and going, correct?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And when we first started, of course, it's just a gradual increase of materials, but last year in 2021, we broke our record of how much material we recycled and diverted it from the landfill. And that was 710 tons, which is a little over 35 semi-loads of material, compacted material that we got recycled and diverted from the landfills. So when we first started, we were just, we started from zero, of course. And so every year it increases, and every month we get more individuals signing up for curbside, or signing up for recycling.
So now, when you bought did you buy a new baler or a used baler?
It's a new one.
Oh, and what's the price of a new baler?
It costs $116,000.
Oh my sakes, wow.
We did get, the state of Colorado gave us a grant for $25,000 of that. And that's why we still have an ongoing fundraiser.
Right.
Anyway, it's up and running, working, we're doing well.
So what's the life expectancy of a baler like that?
Well, that's why we chose a new one rather than a used one, because a new one will last at least 20 years.
Oh.
If we purchased a used one, we might have had to go through the same process in 10 years.
Right.
So it made a lot more sense to purchase a new one that lasts longer.
Right. Very good. Are there other questions for Dee about recycling in the Clean Valley Recycling Center? I think this is fun and look forward to seeing the new baler.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to Clean Valley Recycling. One of the focuses this summer on Oceans of Possibilities is the importance of recycling.
Oh.
And so I have, maybe you already know this, but I have already been talking with Stephen about him coming here and doing a program. And then when we did a program years ago, we actually even had our teens go out to Clean Valley Recycling and do some hands-on stuff and actually get to see. And if I'm just saying, like, if you're someone listening today and you've never been out there, it's worth it to go out there. I'm just amazed at how many things are not just being recycled, but repurposed. And so I think a lot of people, even my husband, when Stephen did that program and got me all pumped up, and I'm like, we're recycling, and he also did composting, and my husband still hasn't got on board on that. But people don't understand the costs, I think, that go into some of this. And my husband had even made the comment at the beginning, and he said, if they just gave the bags away for free, or, all of these things that could just be for free, then maybe more people would do it. And so now that he's been doing it and actually got to see some of these things over the years, he has a better understanding. So it's worth your time to invest in this. He was also this week, he's a plumber for Lyle & Sons, and they have been doing some plumbing work out at the landfill. It's disturbing, to know how much trash is out there and how every one of us can be contributing. I know you think, my husband said this at the beginning, we're just one family. What difference are we going to make? But we've cut our trash at the beginning in half. Now it's even more. So consider it. The curbside is so convenient. And tell your neighbors and your friends about it, and plan a time to go out there so your kids can see it for themselves. So thank you for what you do.
Thank you, Kimberly, for that plug. Thank you. Yeah, probably 75% of what we throw away could actually be recycled, at least. So yeah, give me a call, 468-0254, and I'll sign you up.
So, well, guys, I have learned so much today from everybody's presentations. This has been very informative. So yes,
Julie,
Greg, go ahead.
Since we're giving shout outs and everything, I want to give a big shout out to Dr. Lind and his posse for a great community concert.
Oh yeah.
I love the community concerts are great. I don't get to every one, but I've been to a lot of them since I've been back. That was the best one. That was really cool, man. So great job, and I'm all for more of that.
Thank you. Very nice of you to say. It's great to be able to have that. And
yeah,
another treasure we have is the concert association.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. That was very cool. So
I second what Greg said. I asked Dr. Lind, I said, I think they need to be on every year a concert by
I agree.
him and his friends. So
I agree.
But Well, this has been a great business lunch and talk. Next, it happens the last Thursday of every month. So next month, it'll be Thursday, April 28th. And it seems like they just get more interesting every month. So tell your friends about this. And if you have a friend who wants to be included, if they'll just call the chamber and let Timory know, she'll add them to the list and they'll get the Zoom link. And then in July, we're planning an in-person business lunch and talk. So we'll be getting information out about that in the next month or so. And it'll be a kind of a neat, we had the first in-person event last July. So we're going to begin building on that. So if anyone has anything else, speak up now. Greg, do you have anything you want to close with?
No, just thank you for everybody participating. Thank you, Julie. I'll just hit those 2 chamber events. Our member meeting, big member meeting, you know, we'd like as many people to come as possible. Even if you're not a member, we still love to have you come and participate. Tuesday, April 12th, 5:30 p.m. at the chamber office. So thanks, everybody.
So thanks to the presenters and those that just were here to listen and learn. So thank you. We'll see you next month on the 28th of April.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Lynn.